who actually is the greatest threat to Trump's agenda? Who really is doing it? We know it's the McConnells. Tax cuts will have to wait. We know it's the Ryans. Trump cares as good as Obamacare, but better. So we know about them. We know about the Progs on the left. We know the Soros money is everywhere, organizing the riots. But, you know, yesterday, Steve, I really raised an issue that probably will not engender me with a lot of love in the inner circle of the Trump administration, which is who within his inner circle is actually undermining him. And I name names. I mean, we know who they are. Are they really doing him a favor in their, in their machinations, in their movements? I mean, let's be very clear, Steve. Who am I talking about?
You were asking me, or because I'm
asking Steve Malzberg. Steve is the all-knowing Steve Malzberg of Newsmax.
Well, I'd imagine you're talking about people like Priebus, correct? I mean, you're not talking about the Bannons and the Stephen Millers. You'd be talking about the so-called other side.
I think that you're not seeing the bigger picture from well, let me say that you're not seeing. Priebus is clearly there, and by the way, he's a very nice man.
He is
from
a very
the
nice
RNC.
man. Yeah,
he's a very nice man. Let's not demonize everyone we don't agree with. Soros is not a nice man. Hillary is not a nice woman. Okay? Priebus is a nice man. But Priebus was put in there by the Republican National Committee to steer the ship back to where it was. There's no question about that. He was put on that wheel to make sure it doesn't go to the right. I'm a little concerned about Steve Bannon, and I'll tell you why. Steve Bannon, by the way, all of his beliefs and policies are more or less my own. Borders, language, culture. He's gung-ho nationalist, love it all. But there's a big difference between running a website, doing a radio talk show, and making policy happen. I don't think Bannon understands the barriers between those three things. You cannot govern a nation the way you run a website. And I think that he pushed Donald too far and too fast on certain issues which backfired on the president. I think he should have spent more time initially on jobs, rebuilding steel mills, for example, in Pennsylvania, instead of worrying about Brexit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And I think you and I would agree that he's not a racist. He's not an anti-Semite. He's not the caricature that the media has made him out to be. You probably bring up a point. And that's why I think in an ideal world, working with Priebus together, and maybe they are and maybe they're not. I'm not there. I don't know. But working together, maybe Bannon could be helped in that transition from talk show host and website runner, if you will, to legislative advisor through Priebus's guidance.
I don't know what the inner workings are. All I can say is this. Donald Trump is a true patriot. He is a nationalist. He is trying to give the American people who voted for him what they asked for. He's being derailed. And again, I have to bring it back to the purpose of this interview. I wrote Trump's War, which will be out Tuesday, for one reason, not to buy a new car. I have a new car. My mortgage is paid for. I don't need a new suit. This is 10 years old. It works fine. I wrote this book, Steve, because we have to remember why we voted for Donald Trump, what it is we wanted, what it is he promised, and how to get there. And that's why it's laid out. You know, it's called his battle for America. It's really our battle for America, isn't it?